And welcome to the commentary hub, a delayed coverage of Brighton against Burnley. A real must-win for Burnley as they step out first. But let's look at the two teams. So Burnley starts off with Nick Pope in goal. Back four today of Roberts, Collins in for the COVID-bound James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Eric Peters. And it's Lennon Corkin for Westwood, who also got COVID. Brownhill, McNeil, and it's Weghorst and Cornet up front. On the bench is Wayne Hennessy, Sam Waller, Matt Lawton, Ashley Barnes, Dale Stevens, Jay Rodriguez, Phil Bardsley, Kevin Long, and Bobby Thomas amongst the substitutes. So two enforced changes for Sean Dyche as his team have been hit by COVID, namely Tarkowski and Westwood, hence why Nathan Collins and Cork plays. Brighton lined up as follows with Sanchez in goal, Lamptey, Veltman, Duffy and Cruella at the back. No Lewis Dunk through suspension and no Webster for injury. Basuma plays in the anchorman role, and then it's Mulder, Lallana, Alexis McAllister, and then it's Danny Welbeck and Neil Mopai up front. On the bench for the Seagulls, we've got Jason Steele, Leandro Trossard, Pascal Gross, the German, Stephen Alzati, Sully March, Moses Cascado, try to say that quickly, Hayden Roberts, Mark Leonard, and 58-year-old young Republic of Ireland youth international, Evan Ferguson. The referee today comes from Leicestershire, that's Kevin Friend. The two assistants today are Adrian Holmes and Simon Beck. Fourth official is Dean Whitestone. And VAR down at Stockley Park today is Peter Banks. So we're just going to pause now. A minute's applause in honour of a loss in the Brighton family. So we're just going to pause for a second. We're just waiting for the minute's applause. Pause for a second. Steve Burtonshaw is the man who died. We're just going to pause for a minute's applause in honour of his memory. Well received from both sets of supporters. How well respected? Well, our sympathies, of course, from the commentary go out to Steve's family and friends at this very sad time. But anyway, we're almost set to go here on the south coast. It's been battered and bruised a little bit in the last 24 hours through Storm Eunice. But the game is on. The pitch looks in excellent condition, and it's going to be Burnley to get us away as the players take the knee in the ongoing battle against racism, not just in football, but in everyday life in general. As the rain pours down, and Josh Brownhill will get us underway. Burnley kicking off, attacking the goal to my left, and it's Ben Mee with an early ball forward up towards big 6'6" big horse, who's yet to score yet, but has been trying to get to the pace and the vigour of English football. McNeil battling in the midfield. Now Lamptey with the first touch for Brighton, but he gives it straight to Weghorst. Weghorst now onto the left-hand side. McNeil cuts inside, has Eric Peters on the overlap. Uses Brownhill. Brownhill does really well. Jack Corker already. Burnley, of course, in claret and blue. Brighton, for the record, in their famous blue and white stripes with blue shorts and white stockings. Burnley in pale blue shorts and pale blue stockings. As Peters climbs with that one, alongside number 15 there, which is Jacob Mulber, who played a really good impact coming off the bench in the first game at the start of the season. Weghorst wins the first corner off Shane Duffy. Brighton depleted themselves in defence. No Webster through injury, and no Lewis Dunk as he was sent off in midweek against Manchester United. And of course, Burnley missing their first choice centre-back, James Tarkowski, through COVID. But Connor Roberts is a terrific replacement. Come from Stoke. We thought very highly of him. And he's up for this corner along with Ben Mee as Josh Brownhill's going to take it from the near side. In it goes, the left-hand side. Well defended there. Comes to Lennon, who miskicks the ball. A little bit of a Gary Owen up and under, sort of a rugby sort of clearance. Lennon takes it on takes a 1-2 there with Maxwell Cornet. Lennon with a cross looking towards Weghorst, but it's turned away for a corner. Burnley making a very, very, very positive start, knowing that a win here could close the gap. Newcastle drawing earlier in the day. It's a game that Burnley can't afford to lose. Some may argue can't even afford to draw right now. So maybe a win is an absolute must. And if they can get Weghorst firing, well, that might just open things up. Here comes the corner from the far side this time. Headed away that time by, it might have been Veltman who got it away. But anyway, Ben Mead came back there. And Burnley making an all-action, all-purposeful start. Not that Burnley need reminding, or any Burnley fan like myself need reminding as we go past the 2-minute mark. Only one win this season from 21 previous games. That was against Brentford in, I think it might have been November, early November time, and won 3-1. Could have won right that day, 4 or 5 that day. As Sean Dyche has been saying in many, many post-match and pre-match press conferences that the same old trick about the fine margins. He may have a point to a certain extent, but the excuse, that sort of excuse, if you want to call it that, is wearing very thin with certain Claret supporters at the moment. But he knows he needs a win. If his team, in his words, can show that fine balance of fine margins, and maybe the greatest case could still well be on. But we'll have to wait and see what the next 87 minutes or so that are left will prove. As the ball's not forward, Peters leaving it to the goalkeeper, and Pope duly gets it forward, looking towards Cornet and Weghorst, all 6'6" of him. Schirmer in the midfield now to Cucurella. Try and spell that one, try and pronounce that one very quickly. Spanish fullback. So Brighton's preparations for this game already badly interfered with the suspension of Lewis Dunk, and then Webster in the build-up to this game has injured himself. Schirmer been trading, and it really puts Brighton at a slight disadvantage, and it's an opportunity for Maxwell Cornet and Wout Weghorst to try and add a little bit of uncertainty. Cornet being picked up front in preference to Jay Rodriguez, in fairness, has been dropped without doing much wrong, really. He's in the last 2 or 3 games has been Burnley's best source potentially for goals. Scored in the game at Old Trafford, scored in the game at home to Manchester United, and then had 2 or 3 chances last week against Liverpool. Managed so too did Weghorst, but wasn't meant to be. Stuffy has possession, finds Veltman. Veltman now with an opportunity now, looks to try and dink one over the top, but Weghorst doing some good closing down there for Burnley, looking very, very strong in these opening exchanges. Ball played along the right-hand side, but it's inside the area, and nobody there to challenge Nick Pope, and Pope will take the ball. It was an attempted effort from Shane Duffy, or attempted pass there from Shane Duffy. We're coming up to 5 minutes played at the Amex, and it's still 0-0 on all delay commentary on all TCM platforms. JB Sports, Storm FM, JDAT Football, who I'm pleased to say is renewing our contract with us for the next season, plus the World Cup, and of course TC Hub 2, of course. So we're also on Twitch as well. Don't forget, the Melon app is our streaming partner for the season. You can check that out at melonapp.com. Of course, in the next week or two, we've got the League Cup final from Wembley. That's live, and then we'll have some live and recorded FA Cup commentaries next midweek. So sort of a week on Monday, we'll start all that FA Cup Holland Blue. And that should be great fun with Trevor, and Chris, myself, and Russ and Nicholas are all involved in the coverage. Should be great fun this next couple of weeks. Mike will be part of the commentary team for the League Cup final. Ball over the top into the arms of Nick Pope. Green today. Rolls it out to Roberts, onto Cork. Cork now just on the left-hand side. Uses Lennon. Ball down the line. Looking towards McNeil. Gets there ahead of Duffy. McNeil goes down. No foul there. Referee was well positioned. Here's Lennon. In towards Cork. Cork now looking in there towards Cornet. Maxwell Cornet looks to get Peters in. It's a lovely ball. Peters has crossed and Lamptey got a touch. It comes to Brownhill here. Here's Brownhill. with the crossing from the left. Big Horse just ducked underneath the cross a little bit there. It was a bit low on the ground. And in the end, Big Horse, looking to use his head, had to duck a little bit. Already, Burnley really putting Brighton under the cosh in this opening 7 minutes here on the Sussex coast. Kick away from Sanchez. I'm not sure, being a Spaniard, he'd be used to all this rainy weather. But Burnley players certainly are. A tough set of lads. Actually, the conditions in the Watford game 2 weeks ago was pretty whiplash, to say the least. It was a poor game in truth, which finished goalless, although Burnley did hit the bar at the start of the second half. Here's McNeil now, deep inside Brighton territory, about 10 yards outside the area. Plays a lovely ball. Well, tried to play a ball out towards Connor Roberts, and in the end, I think he was trying to look for Lennon or Roberts, and in the end found neither. Just found touch on the far side, inside the Brighton half, and it'll be a Brighton throw, and it releases some of the tension in their side at the moment with 7.5 minutes of the first half played. And I'm just looking at the wind there, and it's blowing a gale, and you can see from Mark Cucurello's head that it's going to be very gusty and very windy, so it's going to be very difficult conditions for all the players out there. The conditions may just favour Burnley slightly in this first half as Bissouma comes charging forward. There was a foul there, but the advantage has been played, quite rightly so. Mulder now, the Polishman. Can he get the ball across? It's over Pope's head. Welbeck is in there, but I think he's pushed his man, which was Connor Roberts, and a free kick it is to Burnley. But, I have to say, good refereeing this from Mr. Friend. There was a foul in the build-up here, as you'll see here on Bissouma. That was by Dwight McNeil. But the referee quite rightly played on. Mulder, who's a terrific crosser of the ball, as we saw in the first game at Turf Ball when he came on and changed proceedings there on opening day. As you can see, as I've seen there, Welbeck's clearly pushed Connor Roberts over, and it was quite rightly given as a free kick to Burnley. Brighton had their chance, wasted it. Here's Lennon, picking the ball up now on the right-hand side. Cuts inside, looks to find McNeil, but the challenge came in there, and it had to be timed there. It might have been, was it Mulder that getting across there? It was. Mulder got a little foot on that. Is caught now from the throw-in, taken by Peters, out towards Connor Roberts, who's got acres of space on the right-hand side. Dinks McAllister, and then, he's hit the bar. He's actually hit the bar with a cross. I don't think he was meaning to shoot there. Connor Roberts put a left-footed cross in, and the wind, it must have caught in the wind. And it's hit the base. It's hit the middle of Robert Sanchez's crossbar. Well, if he meant it or not, that's irrelevant. I think he was trying to cross. And in the end, he's hit the top of Sanchez's crossbar. Caught Roberts. Roberts really caught the goalkeeper up balance there. And Burnley almost in front within 10 minutes. Sanchez, a very relieved goalkeeper, I must say. Kicks long up towards Welbeck, who flicks it down. Here's a chance now for Mulder to come forward. Ball breaks to McAllister. Lallana has it, the Brighton captain, skipper in the side. He placed the suspended Lewis Duncan, who of course was sent off at Old Trafford in the 2-0 defeat to Manchester United on Tuesday night. Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes, the goal scorers that day, or that evening rather. Here's McNeil, has to use Ben Mee. Bit of purposeful start this from Burnley, it's got to be said. Here's Roberts to Roberts, who smashes it down, or Collins rather, who smashes it down, but Quadraglia got back, and here's Court winning the ball. And I must admit, I had a few question marks about Jack Cork's selection, and he's certainly proven his worth in this opening 10 minutes, proving me wrong a little bit. Here's header one there by Collins, who's had a good start. It's, in some of the games he's played for Burnley, hasn't really let the side down at all, Nathan Collins. Still rated him very highly when he was at the Bet365 Stadium, and they thought very highly of him. Very reluctant to let him go, but he wanted to play Premier League football. Hasn't had much of a chance because of Ben Mee and James Tarkowski, but when he's come in for either one of those two, whether it's alongside Tarkowski or Ben Mee, he's actually been quite very... it's not never let anybody down. Kick forward now towards Big Horst. Bissouma winning it there, and almost bumping into Maxwell Cornet. practically 10 yards from the edge of his own penalty area. Brighton, amazingly, still have the possession with McAllister. Back to Basuma. Now on to Cucurella. He's very hard to pronounce. Here's one man whose name is easy to pronounce, Shane Duffy. On to Joe Veltman. Veltman now, the Dutchman. Picks out Lallana, former England international. Gets the ball down to Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey back inside to Mulder, the Polish international. And Lallana again takes possession. Back to Mulder again on the right-hand side. But so far, if you were judging this as a boxing contest, Burnley would be miles ahead so far on points. Hitting the bar, testing the goalkeeper and having a lot of the ball and attacking Brighton more. Here comes the cross from the far side, but it's too close. Cucurella's cross towards Nick Pope, who took it very easily at the near post. It's going to be difficult for goalkeepers with a swelling wind. And you've got the added problem with the rain. Greasy surface, greasy ball. It's going to lead to all sorts of problems for goalkeepers. I think Pope's a very vastly experienced goalkeeper now, certainly at this level. And he will be used to those conditions. Having played up in Lancashire now for so many years. That's a given. Graham Potter. He's done a good job, actually, Graham Potter. He got a few undeserved boos by certain sections of the Brighton crowd this season. They've drawn quite a number of games, but started the season in really good nick. I think they were top 10, by December, and then sort of lost their way with quite a number of drawn games. Games really they should have won. Heavily tipped to be in amongst the bottom end of the table. And that's not been the case, but they're still in around that top 10 area, and they've had, whatever happens this season, they've had a good season by their standards. Here's Lamptey now for the Seagulls. Remember, they won 2-1 on opening day. Burnley having led through James Tarkowski that day. Alexis McAllister getting the winner late in the second half, which really got Brighton's season off to a flying start, and Burnley's off to a real whimper, which they didn't really recover from. Haven't really recovered from, apart from the Brentford game. Haven't really recovered from, really. But today would be a nice time. Remember, they've got 2 games in hand on Newcastle. If they were to win today, the gap would be 5 points, but with 2 games in hand. Burnley, of course, have got 2 tough ones. One of the games in hand is against Tottenham Hotspur. They play on Wednesday. So Dyche can ill afford any more injury or COVID cases before that one. That game, in fact, was due to be played early December and was called off because of the snow. Here's Cornet now for the Clarets. Maxwell Cornet trying to get the cross back. It deflects away. It will be a Burnley throw over with the 6-yard box of Brighton. He looked a bit jaded when I watched him live last week against Liverpool as a supporter. It's a bit off the pace, Cornet, second half, maybe because he's come back from the AFCON. It's hard to come back from a tournament when it's warm and then come back into a much more colder climate, I suppose. He wasn't pleased with his second half performance. There was 1 or 2 corners against Liverpool last week, which I thought if Maxwell before the AFCON would have put in much, much better. Goal kick to Brighton. We've had a quarter of an hour gone here on the TC Hub and all platforms. It's Brighton 0, Burnley 0 in the Premier League. We're a delayed commentary. Sean Dyche there. 250th Premier League game in charge. And vastly experienced now, and he knows what the Premier League ought to be about. That's been criticised, certainly by this very commentator, being a little bit stubborn in the way that he sets his teams up. Formation, very shy to move away from 4-4-2. I say shy, but certain words I've used in certain roundups for JB Sports this year have been stubborn and reluctant. But he's still a good manager, still a good man, and he knows what he wants. McNeil with the cross, too close to Robert Sanchez, who takes it calmly in the 6-yard box. But Dwight McNeil looking to whip his men, which we have precious seen little of. And McNeil was dropped, you may remember, for Liverpool last week. Had half an hour and didn't really make too much of an impact. But he played an under-23 game and looked really good. Here's Cornet now. And Veltman stopped him, and then Lamptey has carelessly given away a corner under no great pressure over on the far side. And Burnley here really pressing Brighton into making elementary mistakes here. It was Roberts who knocked it forward. Nice little flick round there in the corner there from Brownhill. Showed some great touches, I thought, last week against Liverpool. So he had some real checkers going there last week. So here comes the corner then on the far side. McNeil rather with the corner. Comes to Maxwell Cornet. Here's McNeil again. Whips it into the penalty area. Ben Mead climbing there. Brighton getting in the way, but not very far, no. Peters with a header forward. Much distance on it, but Burnley still asking all the questions, but Brighton have answered them very calmly. But here comes Mulder now, the right winger, who certainly changed things at the turf early at the start of the season. Lamptey offers support, hits Peters, and out for a throw-in. Brighton now starting after 17 and a half minutes, just to come out their shells a little bit now. And it'll be good for the game as a spectacle. That is the case. It's all been Burnley here in this opening quarter of an hour, 17, 18 minutes. And Brighton have made a real mess of that throw-in, I'm afraid. Lamptey and Bissouma getting their wires in a tangle and gifting cheap possession to Burnley. 18 gone, still 0-0. There's Lewis Dunk, who can't play because of suspension, but he is in the crowd today. So Veltman takes his place, and then, of course, Shane Duffy's had to come in for the injured Webster as well, which doesn't bode well, really, for Brighton's back four. Is long ball forward there by Nathan Collins. Veltman takes that down on the edge of his own penalty area. And the kick away by Sanchez, a long kick. He reads that one well. And Lennon now takes possession. Coming up towards the 19th minute mark here at Brighton. And here's Connor Roberts making a dash down. Corella gets back and does well, but loses possession. Milana's in there. Corella just boots it away as far as he can. Peters and Mead going for the same ball. Brighton win possession, and this could be dangerous. Welbeck's there, but Pope was well stationed on the edge of his own penalty box and gave it the big boot, the big long bomb, but it's back with Bissouma now on halfway. Trots into the Burnley half and gets Corella going on the left-hand side. Mulder has just taken a little position out on the left-hand side. Lamptey's free on that right-hand side too, as Milana, the captain for the day, feeds him, and he'll try and take on Dwight McNeil. He tries to show him around the outside and does so, but then he turns on his heels. Lamptey finds McAllister. McAllister now back to Duffy on halfway, and Burnley are doing everything that Sean Dyche would have asked them to. Defend from the front and force Brighton into making elementary errors, but at the moment they haven't made one on this attack. Corella now tries to switch to play, and he switches it from left to right flank, and Lamptey, first touch was heavy, and then he's fouled McNeil on the near side, and free kick to Burnley. We've hit the 20-minute mark. You have to say, if this was a boxing match on points and you were judging it on scorecards, you certainly say the first 2, maybe 3 rounds, you have to give the honours to Burnley. Been a good, positive play so far from Sean Dyche's side, who start the day bottom. 3 points could easily get them off the bottom, depending on results. But, 3 points is an absolute must today. In the wind and the rain, Brighton, a town that's really been battered, like most southern towns, by Storm Eunice in the last couple of days. Well, ground staff have made sure that the game's gone on. Pitch looks in excellent condition, like they do anyway for most Premier League games. Here's a chance now for Roberts. Pull back. Vigor shoots, and he scores! Vigor for Burnley. Right-footed into the net. 21 gone. And that's his first ever goal for Burnley. And the 900 or so Clarets, who are brave Storm Eunice to come down to the South Coast, well, their trip may be well worth their while. 21 minutes gone, and Burnley's dominance has been rewarded. It all started with Nathan Collins playing it round the corner. Then Lennon carried it on. Then Roberts gets in from down the right-hand channel, pulls the ball back towards the right-hand side of the penalty spot. And from 12 yards out with the right foot, first time shot, Weghorst beats Sanchez at the near post. And Burnley have been rewarded for a bright start here at Brighton as we hit the halfway mark of the first half. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Burnley 1 here. Delayed audio, alternate commentary on the TC Hub and all platforms, including JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2, and Twitch. Great start for the Clarets. Away from home in stormy old Brighton. And the best team are winning this football match. There's no doubt about it. Here's Lamptey now for Brighton, looking to hit back straight away. Cross puts Pope under a little bit of pressure, not too much. Just had to scamper back two or three steps and takes the ball, no problem. Very difficult to judge the wind and the goalkeepers today. Certainly when catching the ball and everything else. Anyway, Pope kicks long, looking towards Weghorst. There was no foul there. Weghorst on towards Maxwell Cornet. Cornet turning, uses Lennon. Just asks a little bit of Aaron Lennon there. Maxwell Cornet uses Roberts now. He put in another super ball. He'll try, looking towards Cornet, and it's headed behind by Veltman for another Burnley corner. We've hit the halfway stage of the first half already. Brighton 0, Burnley 1, and Burnley looking for more. What does Graham Potter do now? He looks very rueful at the field of play. He's not very happy at the moment, Graham Potter, a man who's really changed Brighton's style of play in the last 18 months or so since taking over from Chris Hughton the last 2 seasons. And Coella and Cork having a bit of a set to inside that 6-yard box, and Kevin Friend wants a word with both players. Let's just see what happens now. JB, your commentator, John Stuttard, for this crucial Premier League game. Between two draw specialists, Brighton nicely perched in the top 10. Burnley needing the points to get off the bottom of the table and get within fighting distance of Newcastle United, who drew 1-1 at West Ham earlier today. Here's McNeil, gets the ball, twists and turns Welbeck, but his cross was not on the same wavelength as his brilliant skill just preceding that. Here's Peters now battling with it with Neil Mopai. Now Alexi McAllister takes possession. Cork is wrestling into the ground, but the referee quite rightly allowing the play to go on, and then knowing that there was no advantage there for Brighton, he's blown for the free kick. Yellow card, I think, has been awarded, is it to Eric Peters? Maybe a touch harsh there against the Dutchman. Let's have a look on the replay. It bumped into Mopai. Well, I thought there was a bit there. I don't think there was much in it between there. I think Mopai has actually thrown around Peters, and I think the yellow card should be for the Brighton man rather than the Burnley man. Look, Mopai's shoved him over. WWF style. And then he goes and books Peters, the referee. I don't understand why Peters is booked, because it was Mopai who shoved him over. Never understand that one. Here comes the cross, and it's easily taken there by Pope. Not a good cross by Lamptey, really. It was too close to Nick Pope, if I'm being truthfully honest. Unless Cork got the yellow card, it looked as if it was being shown in Eric Peters' direction. And I have to say, that is the most ridiculous yellow card I think I've seen all season. Anyway, Burnley still winning by 1-0, but Peters, I think, is the man who's been booked rather harshly for me. As we hit the 26-minute mark, we're just going, 20 seconds shy of that, actually. Might have been for this, actually. I think they've given it to Jack Cork for shoving McAllister. In fact, he was pulling him back. He was just as guilty as Mopai was in the earlier incident with Peters. We initially thought it was Peters, but I'm hearing it's Jack Cork who's got the yellow. Anyway, Burnley in possession with Weghorst trying to get it through to Maxwell Cornet. But at the moment, Burnley have got their hosts rattled, and that bodes well, really, for Sean Dyche's men. All they've got to do is maintain a bit of disciplinarian, a little bit of discipline, and they could get the job done, but never write off Brighton. Burnley were in front around this stage in the first game of the season at the turf, and Brighton made a couple of switches and won the game. Burnley had chances to win that game. I think they should have won it. Should have been 2 or 3 up by then. By the time the equaliser came, and then Alexis McAllister, to add insult to injury, got the winner. Coella now has it on the far side. Takes on Leonard. Has to go back though to Veltman. Veltman now. Have to use Coella again on the far side. Coella, the Spaniard. Back to Veltman, the Dutchman. Now Duffy, the Irishman. 27 gone in the Premier League. Delayed alternate commentary on the TC Hub and all platforms in association with Melon Streaming app. Here comes the cross towards the penalty area, and Jack and Nick Pope on the near post takes it. Don't forget, if you are wanting to use Melon Streaming app as your streaming app of choosing, you can check their website out at melonstreamingapp.com. Of course, we'll have a player of the match to choose later on in association with commentary services. Enough of the mentions, more of the game. 27 and a half minutes. And Weghorst is down, injured in the centre circle. Though this is a concern now. He did have an injury last week against Liverpool and he was forced off. This looks like the right knee he's holding there. Doesn't look in too much discomfort, unlike Liverpool last week when I saw him from the top of the Hargreaves stand boot or punch the ground in absolute anger and pain and frustration. Alistair Beattie, the physio, is on there for Burnley. Let's see what happened on the replay. I think this is the goal, actually. There's the ball played forward by Leonard. Roberts makes a terrific run. And I tell you what, he's come in, plays like Moulton at right back, and he's made that position his own. That's a beautiful assist, and pulled it back, beautifully weighted cut back it really was. And Weghorst, who in the last 3 years playing for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, has been second top scorer in those 3 seasons behind a certain Robert Lewandowski, who of course needs no introduction, playing for Bayern Munich. Weghorst is on his feet, I'm pleased to say. Ian Warren just giving him a polite tap on the back. And I think Weghorst will be okay to continue. But Connor Roberts, full marks to him there. For the pullback, it was just unbelievable. I think that the magic sponge from Ali Beattie has done the necessary job. And Dean Whitestone just giving him the all clear to get him rejoined with the rest of us here at the Amex. 1-0 to Burnley. A goal on 21 minutes scored by Weghorst. He's now back on the field, just running a little gingerly, but should be okay to run it up. Now Coella on the far side. Lennon stops him beautifully there. Brilliant challenge there. And then the ball knocked forward there by Roberts. Up towards corner. He's fouled there quite viciously there by Duffy. And it will be a free kick to Burnley just shy of half an hour played. For Weghorst, the deadline day transfer from Wolfsburg really has made the impact. Are Burnley getting back to the Burnley of old? It's taken them nearly 3/4 of the season to get there, but they're still, I tell you what, a win today. And they're right back in that survival Russian roulette. Here's Peters. Peters is crossed just too close to the goalkeeper, I'm afraid, Robert Sanchez. But Burnley, every time they attack, they look a threat. And this is probably the best display I've seen from a Burnley side since the Brentford result, really. There have been glimpses of it against Manchester United where they could have won the game. Watford, they didn't look like breaking the target. Neither did breaking the deadline. Neither did Watford, to be fair. Burnley have looked very good defensively in the last few games. Have strong jaw that Sean Dyche places so much store in. But it's been that final third, really, they haven't really looked good enough in. Chris Wood, only before his move to Newcastle, only managed 3 goals in about 20 games. But I think when you compare Wood to Weghorst, I think Weghorst has got a lot more to offer than Chris Wood actually did in this season. And I think part of him was playing for a move. I mean, they didn't get much change out of Wood this season, Burnley. And to get that 25 million quid from Newcastle, that was, when you look back at that now, actually was probably a better deal for Burnley as it turned out than it has been for Newcastle, because Big Horse looks more of a menace than Chris Wood did. And I know he was top scorer with 12 goals a season for the last 4 seasons, but there would be spells where he just would not, well, A, he'd be caught offside about a million times in a game, and 2, he missed very easy chances. Big Horse has just taken a very difficult chance and has put Burnley in a very commanding position in the game. But they have conceded a free kick. Jack Cork a little clumsy, and he's got to watch his step. He's the man who's actually been booked, by the way. So Cork can only afford to make too many more mistakes, because if he does, he's off the field. Here's Lamptey now for the Seagulls. Brighton, who are trailing 1-0 in this crucial Premier League game. Brighton needing the points to make sure they get to 40 as quickly as possible, even though they're nicely anchored in mid-table. Do not want to be starting to lose or draw many more games, otherwise they could be sucked in with the likes of Newcastle and Everton and Brentford, who are dropping like stones at the moment, on current form that is, into a relegation scrap. A few weeks ago it was going to be one from 4 rather. Could be several other clubs, including Everton and Brentford, now right back in the mix. Palace are in danger as well, going the same way. So maybe it may not be all over for Burnley at the moment, if they can hold on here. Lamptey's cross in there, and it's knocked away, and the shot from McAllister is mishit, and a little bit of desperate defending. It's taken Brighton 33 minutes to actually give a little bit of threat to that Burnley defence. And well, that will concern Graham Potter a bit, but that was a bit more positive from Brighton and Hove Albion. Ball a little bit loosely picked up. And now the tackles are flying in. That was a hard one there by Mopai on Jack Cork, who's down on the floor. Mopai telling Cork to get up. But Mopai thinks that Cork's made a bit of a meal of it. Anyway, it's all smiles at the end of it all, but it is a free kick to Burnley. Brighton looking complete disarray when they're trying to play out from the back. And I think this was, just a free kick, I think. Mopai just went into the back of Cork. He went in from the side rather than behind. If he went in from behind, then it would have been an instant yellow card. So I think on that score, the referee got that decision spot on. Anyway, free kick comes in. Vigos challenges on the edge of the area. Comes to Jack Cork. Here's Dwight McNeil. Can he skim his man? He's lost possession again. A little bit careless there. Giving it to someone as classy as Adam Lallana. Even now he's into his twilight years as a top quality footballer, he's still class act, is Adam Lallana. Southampton and Liverpool were his previous Premier League clubs. We come up towards the final 10 minutes of what's been a very good first half for Burnley in the main. Certainly be winning it on points, but Brighton coming into it a bit now with Lamptey. That's a good ball, I'm afraid. And Burnley takes possession, gets away from Mopai, looks to feed Big Horse on halfway. It's back again. And Duffy will try a shot, and that's the first time they've actually had a shot on target. It's taken them about 35 minutes, Brighton. It was a good effort. Not one that would beat Nick Pope per se, but not a good clearance really by Ben Mee in the first instance. But it comes to Duffy here. Knows he hasn't got much options, so he thought he went for a left-footed drive, and it was an easy off save for Pope. Ball knocked along, and Collins across the Irishman doing really well there for Burnley. Kept in play, but here come Brighton now. Having a good past 5 minutes or so. It's got to be said. Here's Lallana, far side, up against Robertson Mee. And still Lallana gets it in towards Alexi McAllister. And yes, he's kept that in play just on the far side. Coella now. Brighton starting to put quite a number of passes together here. Ball played into the penalty area. Comes again to McAllister, who can hit them. Deflects away. Will it go for a corner? McNeil should keep it in, and he does. McNeil gets it away, but he only got it as far as Veltman. Now, Lamptey puts the ball in there. Lallana with a diving header. Oh, it's just wide. It might have hit the back stanchion behind Nick Pope's goal, but Brighton have had 2 very good opportunities. That one was a more presentable one, than the Shane Duffy opportunity, because this was a goal-edge chance. Lamptey puts in a lovely cross from the right. And Lallana, well, even though he's about 12 to 13 yards out, if he hits the target, it's 1-1. Even on the balance of play, it would have been scarcely deserved on the balance of play, but you have to say, though, Burnley have just got to watch it. A couple of warning shots there. Looked a foul to me. Free kick Burnley. Oh, by Veltman. Well, it's been a classic sort of 10. It's been a classic 37 minutes of play so far here on the TC Hub and all participating TC Hub platforms on YouTube, including JB Sports, Storm FM, JDAP Football, and TC Hub 2, which is Russ's channel. I hope you enjoyed delayed offering of this game from the Amex. Here's McNeil with the free kick from the left-hand side. It's a, well, how can I put it? Diabolical one, straight to Coella. Wasn't really a quite McNeil special, that, was it? Anyway, Coella's won the throw-in for Brighton midway inside his own half. Credit, though, on that Lallana chance. You've got to give Tariq Lamptey a little bit of credit, because he puts in a lovely ball from the right-hand side there, just causing one or two problems for that Burnley defence. But the clean sheet is still very much there. No goal pierced. Burnley goal not been pierced yet. For the time being, at least. McNeil has gone down. Free kick to Burnley. Veltman again. 2 fouls inside 2 minutes. Referee will have to take note of that, because if another one happens like that again with Veltman, then he will go in the referee's notebook. The old tossing up for fouls process. That one you could argue was a bookable offence. Anyway, what can McNeil do this time? That's a better free kick. Again, the goalkeeper decided to fist rather than punch. In the air again, or punch rather than catch rather. Benby's offside. The ball hasn't gone in the net. Sanchez is furious with one of his defenders. And look at that. Him and Duffy having a right set to there. And there's, well, how can I put it? There is friction and disenchantment in the Brighton camp. Both players went for the same ball. Duffy got the header in. There was no quarter given. Sanchez then has a go at the goalkeeper. And then Duffy just somehow pushes his goalkeeper, and Bissouma in there to try and defuse the situation. And the Spaniard and the Irishman having a set to here, and this isn't good. It's not a good look for Brighton and Hove Albion at the moment. Trailing 1-0, and with the team struggling, that is the last thing right now Graham Potter needs. A bit of one up and under. Now then, Corney might get there. Vigorst will certainly get there. And Vigorst lays it into the path of Brownhill. Brownhill inside the area. Gets it up from under his feet. Shoots, deflects it in. 2-0 Burnley. They've done it again. And it's Josh Brownhill's first goal as well for Burnley. It's taken him 2 seasons almost. But he's got it. His first ever Premier League goal for the Clarets. And what a time to score it. It was a scruffy one. It took a couple of deflections under Sanchez's legs, but who cares? Burnley are 2-0 up. And it was a long up and under from Eric Peters that caused all the trouble here. Duffy couldn't cope with Vigorst, who laid it into Brownhill's path. He had to get it out from under his feet. Nendershot takes a wicked deflection and past Robert Sanchez. And Burnley have taken advantage of the uncertainty and the set twos in Brighton's defence. It takes a deflection off Veltman and into the back of the net. And for all Burnley's misfortunes this season, maybe they're due this look. 40 minutes gone, 5 to play till the break, and it's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Burnley 2. And I don't think many people inside this Amex Stadium can argue with that, as Vigorst charges down an attempted clearance by Robert Sanchez, deflects out for a throw-in. Another day that might have bobbled off his backside and into the back of the Brighton net, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's 2-0 to the Clarets. It's a great performance from them, just when they needed it most. And what do Brighton have in the tank now? They have to get to half-time, you'd think, without any further damage. But disenchantment and displeasure in the camp between fellow teammates, and now a 2-goal concession against the team that started bottom of the league. Well, they might be off the bottom tonight, the Clarets, and deservedly so, because they played so far in this opening 41 and a half minutes. They played some really lovely stuff. Here's McNeil winning possession. They're not afraid as well to do the ugly side of the game, which annoys a lot of opposition fans as well, by the way. McNeil goes down, referee right on the spot again, quite rightly gives the free kick on the near side. Apart from that, well, I think the referee, in fairness to him, has had a decent game. 3 minutes to half time, and Burnley in danger here. From Graham Potter's point of view, are in danger of running riot here and, well, potentially rounding up a cricket score. Because every time they've come forward, they've looked a threat. McNeil's free kick towards the far side. Offside has been given. Presumably against Weghorst. And anyway, it's a free kick to Brighton. But it's Burnley who lead by 2-0, and deservedly so. Look at the pressing again by Eric Peters. Lamptey wants a free kick. Referee was never going to give that. Ball knocked away once more. And Meighan to earn the next ball on halfway. Burnley winning every single first and second ball in this first half. It's been an absolute joy to see. And they've attacked so dangerously as well. It's the best I've seen him for at least a good 2, maybe 3 months, doing it in the first half of a game. And we haven't seen that sort of energy since probably the Brentford result, which has only been their only win this season. But here comes a chance here for Maupay, who's been absolutely kept quiet by Roberts and Mee. And here's Maupay again, and Collins and Mee between and get it out for a throw. Mee has injured himself in the process, but probably in the greatest of causes possible, because he's denied Maupay a clear chance at goal and has put his foot in where it hurts the most. But Brighton really need to up their A game here. McAllister just leaving his knee. It was McAllister who in fact tried to get in there. Just kicked me accidentally there as the challenge came in. But I have to say, Nathan Collins and Ben Mee as a centre-back partnership have looked awesome. Have really looked awesome. This is the second goal. It's the up and under, which catches in the wind, which causes all the problems. Weghorst does well. Brownhill just miscontrolled it slightly. Had to get it out from under his feet. And I think that deflects off Joe Veltman. It comes off Koala first. And if you slow it down, hits Veltman and goes in. Although Maxwell Cornet on another day might have claimed that himself. But it was definitely not Cornet's goal. And it's Josh Brownhill's best in Premier League football. Been playing for the club since January 2020. And that's his first goal. First league goal in 2 years for the Clarets. And, well, that's a big feather in Josh Brownhill's cap. He's in the last couple of games, despite results not going Burnley's way, has shown glimpses of the player he was at Preston and at Bristol City. And here's a chance for Mulder now. He's just got to the left-hand side. He goes down. No way in a month for Sunday that Kevin Friend, the referee, was going to give that. As we now we're now moving to stoppage time, for which we'll have 2 minutes, as signalled by Mr. Dean Whitestone, the fourth official. VAR checked it, by the way, and felt there was nothing wrong with it. Koala now, the penalty appeal, that is, the referee decision was quite right. He's had a good game, Kevin Friend, to be fair. Often I say that about him. Here's Lamptey now for Brighton. 2-0 down and in desperate trouble here. Team in discipline. Players falling out with each other. Teammates falling out with each other. Not making for a very good look. And 2 goals down. And really rank defended on the 2 goals. Although well taken, but a terrific goal from Weghorst. Got to be up there for goal of the month of February, that one. And then a scuffed goal scored by Josh Brownhill, making it 2. There's a free kick to Brighton with a minute to go. Josh Brownhill involved. Bit of a set to here. And there's frustrations here starting to boil over. It's the Brighton players that are losing their heads a little bit. It's just a penalty appeal again against Lennon. In fact, I think it's more on Lennon than it is Alana, if I'm being perfectly frank with you. I don't think you can give that. And did his job and did it to the letter. So I don't think there's any cause for concern about VAR overturning that decision with Kevin Ferrando, who's actually been very, very good this first half. There you are, collector's item from the John Stuttard commentary box. So referee getting praise. Anyway, free kick to Brighton, and it's well defended by Burnley. It wasn't a good free kick from Moda, if I'm being bluntly honest. 15 seconds or 2 minutes to go as ball is knocked out of play from Connor Roberts off a deflection. Neil Mopai, it'll be a Burnley throw-in. 4 seconds to the break. I think the referee, right on cue, should blow up here. We have played the 2 minutes, and right on cue, he does blow for half-time, bolts for half-time. So plenty of work for Graham Potter's men to do here as he storms off down the tunnel at half-time, but it's Big Horst, and with the opening goal in 21 minutes, and then 4 minutes from the end of the first half, it was Josh Brownhill, 5 minutes from the end of the first half. Josh Brownhill making it 2 with a scuff shot. And that's the scoreline at half-time here on the TCO. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Burnley 2. And welcome back to the second half, folks, as Burnley just make their way out here for the second half. There's Josh Brownell, just seen there on my pictures, and Big Horse. They're the two goal scorers that separate the two teams at the moment. And Burnley in a very good position, but as a lot of people always say in the game, 2-0 is a very dangerous lead. So maybe Burnley need that extra insurance policy. So if they get the next goal, then you think it's game over for Graham Potter's men and Sean Dyche's team. Will be making the long trek back north from Sussex with all 3 points. No changes from either side as far as I can make out. So it's as you were as regards to 22 players on the field. And off we go for the second half. Brighton attacking the goal to my left. Burnley to the right-hand side, where 900 supporters who have braved the elements and stormed Eunice to come down on a very cold, wet, windy day on the Sussex coastline. 2-0 here at the Amex Stadium in Farmer, which is sort of a suburb of Brighton. It's just on the outskirts of the town. Kick forward and again, Pope. Oh, miscontrolled it, and Pope's in trouble. And this could be problems now. Lamptey's on the case for Brighton. And unfortunately, the bounce of the ball didn't favour him there. Ball knocked across and Ben Mee there. But Pope there just playing Harry Carey at the start. But it's Brighton on the attack again with McAllister. Corella now. Corella gets it out towards the near side. Mulder now into McAllister. Midway inside. In the middle of the park. Finds Lamptey now. He'll try and wiggle his way past McNeil. McNeil sticks to him like super glue. Here comes the cross. It's a difficult one. And again, well, didn't get a good purchase on that. Straight to McAllister. Brighton starting the second half very strongly. And Burnley in the opening a minute or two, Nick Pope especially, under the cosh. I'm just seeing a replay of what Pope was trying to do. I don't know what he was trying to do there. He got away with it somehow because the wind there just took it away from Lamptey's path just for that millisecond. And that's what saved Pope in the end. And then he mispunched a cross, which he got away with too. So Burnley just starting a little bit ragged in the second half, especially the goalkeeper. He's done, until then, has done really, really well. That will be a Brighton throw. I think Robert got a foot in. Brighton throw in midway inside the Burnley half. Taken quickly. Here's Danny Welbeck. Oh, easy pick is there. Nathan Collins, and this is why he's a class defender. This is why Stoke, his previous club, rated him so highly. He's able to come in there. Danny Welbeck did not see him coming. He just picked his pocket and got the ball away. But it's Brighton on the attack here with Bissouma. They need to show more purpose. Looks like Potter's read them the right attack, giving them their hairdryer at half-time. Lamptey now, back inside. Can he figure something out here? Oh, he's trying to play a 1-2 with Bissouma. It never quite worked out for Brighton there. And McNeil just hooks it away now for Burnley. Up towards the big 6'6" Wout Weghorst, who scored the opening goal after 21 minutes. Added to by Josh Brownhill on 40. That's what's given Burnley a 2-goal cushion, but it's a dangerous 2-0 lead. They say 2-0 is a very dangerous lead, even at this stage of a game. It's all about that defensive jaw now for the second half. Burnley have that security, but how much will it tell in the second half? Brighton are a good side. Let's not kid ourselves at that. They're in the top 10 for a very good reason. They ran Spurs very close in the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago. Veltman now for the Seagulls, trailing 2-0. Burnley could be off the bottom. They won't be out the bottom 3 with a victory today, but it will put them right in distance of Newcastle. But it's Brighton on the attack. Bissouma on the edge. McAllister on the edge. Cornet with a challenge, and he may have hurt himself in the process. In fact, McAllister had fouled him. And a free kick. And this is very concerning news for Burnley because Cornet has stayed down. And they want McAllister booked. This is concerning news here for Maxwell Cornet. Here's the incident again. Cornet's there first. That is a late challenge, actually, from McAllister. Cornet's there first, and he's kicked him right through the back. Now, under the rules of the game, that's a definite automatic yellow. And I'll be amazed if McAllister gets away without a booking there. And this doesn't look good. And Cornet, as you can see, is absolutely down in an absolute heap here. Looks in very considerable pain. Ali Beattie is there too. I can see Jay Rodriguez and Ashley Barnes being prepped. Barnes, who has come to this ground as a Burnley player before, and a live JB Sports match a few years back when Burnley won 3-1, when they were also, both teams were actually battling relegation that season. Barnes scored a penalty. Chris Wood got a brace that night. Lewis Dunk with a reply then for Brighton. Jay Rodriguez and Ashley Barnes being told to warm up. So it looks like one of the two will come on. And Jay Rodriguez, of course, has got previous with Brighton fans because of the Gitan Bong incident of a few years ago, which didn't go down too well with a lot of Brighton fans. And it's still felt in this part of Sussex. As Cornet, I'm pleased to say, he's been out to his feet, but it looks as if his afternoon may well be over now. Let's hope it's just a precautionary measure, but that was a horrible challenge there from McAllister. Cornet in there first, and McAllister just went barging into him like a bull in a china shop. I'm amazed. If the referee hasn't carded him, then I'll be amazed about that, because I was a Burnley player. You can bet your pound to a penny that a Burnley player would have been booked. Cornet is limping away to the near side here. Let's just hope it's a precautionary measure. I'm just seeing Ashley Barnes there warm up and a couple of the Brighton subs there. Let's remind you of the two benches as well while we've got this stoppage. Jason Steele, Leandro Trossard, Pascal Gross, Stephen Alzati, Solly Marsh, Moses Caicedo, Aidan Roberts, Mark Leonard and Evan Ferguson for Brighton as the game is back underway. Burnley subs, we'll give you those in a second. Here's Jack Cork breaking forward. Burnley temporarily down to 10 men. Oh, he was knocking the ball back actually. Brighton attacking the goal to my left incidentally. Cornet is actually back on the field. Can he run it off? It doesn't look as if he can. Just felt a grimace. I just saw a grimace there on his face as he tried to run. He is well back down the left-hand side. Needs support. And that's a really good challenge there from Nathan Collins, who got in there, took the ball cleanly. And what's the referee giving here? Is he giving a free kick? Well, I can't believe that decision. From the naked eye, it looked as if Collins took the ball and not any of Danny Welbeck. Collins was definitely getting the ball there for me. He got the ball. I think Welbeck has bought that decision a little bit there from the referee. Look, Collins gets a touch of the ball. That's a clean tackle as far as I'm concerned. That's a poor decision from Mr. Friend. He probably needs a fisherman's friend on a day like today. Anyway, free kick to Brighton. As cheap as that is. Coelho's going to take it. He's going to hoist it into the area, and that is way wide. That's a poor header. Goal kick, and maybe, just maybe, justice has been done. Because in the first instance, that was never a free kick in the first place. Duffy goes up for the header and gets it all wrong. And maybe justice for once is being done here this afternoon, down here in Sussex. But it doesn't look good, I'm afraid, to say for Maxwell Cornet. Before that free kick incident, I just saw there, he was trying to sprint. I saw him grimace out the corner of my eye, and it does not look good. He's still on the field there. He's still trying to run it off. He's still there looking for the ball. Cornet got there, but the referee has blown again. Fouled by Weghorst. One or two niggling decisions here from the referee, which I don't know whether he's trying to referee it a bit more differently in the second half, but he was letting things go in the first half, and we were all applauding him for it. But already he's given one or two questionable decisions, and it looks as if Maxwell can't continue here. Maxwell Cornet, that is. Looks as if that ankle, Basuma, one of the first ones to show a bit of concern, and that's good sportsmanship from Basuma, just to get the physio on. And I don't think Cornet is going to continue. This is problem with Maxwell. He's a great player, terrific talent, but the problem is he's too much injury prone at the moment. Let's hope it's not as serious as it already is. At least he's on his feet anyway. And McAllister, well, it's a bit late, McAllister, to be apologising. He caused the injury. It was a bang. It was a massive bang. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. They have to take him off for precautionary measures. Jay Rodriguez, who's got another opportunity now, he's actually been playing really well, scored the goal against Manchester United, a terrific finish by him there in that game. And showed what he was all about in the last 2 or 3 games against Man United and Liverpool especially. He certainly has something about him. There's little or no doubt about that. Right, so Burnley now having made an enforced substitution. I'll have to play, and it looks like Jacob Moda's off. It's Sully March who can whip crosses in. He's coming on, and Leandro Trossard is replacing Adam Lallana as well. So it looks as if the captain's made way there, or the standing captain is making way. There's Leandro Trossard, who can hit them. Lallana's been the closest outlet to a goal for Brighton this afternoon with his diving header that went wide in the first half. So we're 10 minutes of the second half gone. Brighton have made 2 changes. Burnley, the one he forced. And off we go again with Robert Sanchez. Long kick forward. Big long bomb. Cut out again by Collins. He's had a superb match. It was very unfortunate not to be to have a free kick given against his name. Here's Dwight McNeil now on the ball for Burnley. McNeil, he's lost possession, but I thought he was fouled there. The referee, and he's now down injured, and the referee, I'm afraid he's not too many friends here at the moment. I looked a foul there on McNeil. Peters in with a very stern challenge, and the Brighton players down. Maybe the referee even that one out a bit. No foul they're given that time. Peters with a very robust challenge. McNeil back on his feet again. The Brighton players still down. We play on. In fact, Basuma's up and on his feet again. He's chasing after this one. Robert Lamptey, keeps it in play. It was Lamptey went down in a heat. Mopai with a shot well wide. Hit it on the volley, but he hit it well wide of the right-hand post to Nick Pope, and a goal kick to Burnley. And he might have been offside as well, Lamptey, as that ball was played. That would have probably gone to VAR, and if the ball had got in the back of the net, that might have been potential offside if Mopai had hit the target, but it didn't matter too much because he didn't stick the ball in the back of the net. And it was half a chance, to be fair. So it still remains 2-0 with 57 minutes almost gone. Rodriguez winning the ball on the air. He's getting a few boos from the Brighton fans. Remember him in his West Brom days when they wrongly accused him of racially abusing Gitan Bong, which was never proven. There was an investigation. There was all sorts of an hearing. There was an hearing of some kind, but it didn't prove the player guilty. So I think Brighton fans need to get off their high horses about that. And Bong has since left the club as well for Nottingham Forest. So I think the Brighton fans really need to let bygones be bygones there. Anyway, here's a chance for Solly March. But the ball, in fact, the flag has gone up, in fact, for an offside against Solly March, or a free kick to Burnley. But I like Solly March as a player. I think he's a very good player. You could take your choice from 2. Danny Welbeck being one of them and Solly March being the other. Good decision from the linesman on the far side, A.D. Holmes. The ball linesman is Simon Beck. Dean Whitestone is the 4th official, and if needed, Peter Banks will be the 4th. Will be needed at Stockley Park if required. So far in this game, he's not been required. Free kick taken by Pope towards the midway point of the Brighton half. But Pope again in there to win the second ball, but it's come to McAllister now. Brighton have to get it forward. And the more they pour people forward, the more susceptible they could be on the counter-attack. But this fellow is a terrific player on the ball now, left-hand side. Solly March whips across, and Roberts does well, and then boosts the ball into the crowd. And, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous rule. I don't think Roberts meant to do that. And the referee there should have shown a little bit more discretion, in my opinion. That is a ridiculous thing to do to a player who's done so well, Connor Roberts. He gets the crossing, the ball belts there, and I just think I don't think he meant to boot it as far up as he could. I think the referee there was way too strong. Ball played in, hit Lennon for a corner. Coelho that time with the attempt to cross. It wasn't a good one. Lennon blocked it easily. Just annoys me then when referees book players for that sort of offence. And it's a rule that should be absolutely outlawed. As the corner comes in, not very good. Coelho now again. Trossard chips it in. Pope, yes, good decision with the fist because he got it perfectly to Dwight McNeil. Is going blazing forward on the left-hand side. Just has to look for support a little bit, and he's got it. In the shape of Eric Peters. Back towards McNeil on halfway. Back to Peters again. Still on the left-hand side. McNeil flicking it on. Cork keeping it into play. The two central midfielders combining. Rodriguez is there. Cork is there still. Burrowing a nice hole on the left-hand side. Cross comes in towards Big Horse. I have to say, well, Big Horse has had a magnificent game for Burnley today. He's certainly up in the force for man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. And here go Coella now. He's being tracked there all the way by Lennon, who brings him down. That will be a Brighton free kick. And he's also going to get a booking. Well, you have to say that's more... If that's any more of a yellow card than the McAllister one, then I think Mr. Friend is absolutely out of order. Nothing in that at all. It's a foul, no more, no less. But yet he doesn't book McAllister for a nasty challenge from Corney, which puts him out the game. But then we'll book Lennon for just a normal box standard tackle. It just doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever. And Colley's throwing himself about a bit on the halfway line. No quarter given. Still 2-0 to Burnley. If you've just joined us, about an hour gone on all TCL platforms. Delayed commentary, alternate commentary of this Premier League encounter. Burnley are winning it by 2-0. Big Horse and Brownhill, the scorers in the first half. The ball not long, high and long. Headed away by Veltman. Rodriguez chases after this one, and Rodriguez has got it. He's got Big Horst away to his left. He's found Wout Big Horst, and Rodriguez is there, and I think it was actually McNeil, who hit the shot against. It might have been his own man, Jay Rodriguez. Anyway, free kick has been given for a foul by McNeil, and referee again not letting Brighton take the quick free kick, which actually will suit Burnley down to the ground at the moment. Solly March in possession. Still 2-0. We've had well over an hour gone here at the Amex Stadium in deepest Sussex on a Saturday, cold, windswept, rainy Saturday afternoon. Pitchside microphones blowing over. That's the ferocity of the gale force that's been around the Amex all afternoon. And even the pitchside mics have beared the brunt of the horrible rubber here at the Amex Stadium. Ball out to Lamptey far side. Tries to go around Peters, who gets a good foot in there. Will be a throw-in to Brighton. And a chastening day for the Seagulls in more ways than one. They had the lion's share of the second half. I don't think there's any question about that. Saw Melba Christmas win very handsomely as well. I was impressed with Graham Potter's side. I've not really been impressed by some of the games they played today. The Burnley players booked for nothing, yet getting away with the yellow cards on themselves for much more nastier challenges. The referee has made a rub for his own bag, I'm afraid. First half, we could praise him to the hilt. Second half, however, it's not been the case. Guella now gets it forward, looking towards Welbeck. In comes Brownhill with a challenge, and I thought that was another harsh decision there, I felt. Cork is down, holding his mouth there. May have lost a tooth, possibly. Let's have a look again. It was Welbeck involved there. Well, he's hit Cork. But he's given the decision to Brighton. I can't understand that one either. Elbow in Cork's face. Brighton getting away with a lot of bad decisions here. Rodriguez in there. But Udami comes towards McNeil. Can't be found. Coella now in possession for Brighton. 63 minutes, 63 and a half minutes gone on the TC Hub. With JB Sports and JDAT Football and Storm FM and TC Hub 2. The other YouTube platforms that take the commentary. Plus Twitch. Brighton 0, Burnley 2. Delayed alternate commentary of this Premier League encounter. Ball laid out towards the near side. Can't find Solly March. It will be a throw-in to Burnley. Midway inside their own half. 64 gone. Burnley 2 up. And on course for 3 valuable points at the Amex Stadium. A place where they've been unbeaten in 4 before today. If they do win today, it will be 5. We had a few draws there too. Of course, there was that memorable win in 2019, 3 years ago, when on a very cold, it was January when they won 3-1. It was a real basement battle that day as well. 2 for Wood, 1 for Barnes. It was when they were bottom at Christmas, or next to bottom at Christmas, after a more win by Everton, and they went on this extraordinary run which got them, it was 40, I think it was 30 odd points from the second half of the season alone. Also going out the FA Cup early on that season helped them stay up as well a great deal. Of course, it was a European campaign that didn't help their cause. Here's Solly March, standing to give Connor Roberts a bit of a torrid time at the moment. March into the penalty area, good running. McAllister can shoot, and he shoots over the top. Got a deflection, it's a corner. Edge of the area when he struck it, McAllister. It was a lovely play once more. Brighton just looking at a little bit more menacing in this second half. And since the substitutions, they've looked a bit more of a menacing side. McAllister's right-footed shot, deflection off just Brownhill and over the top of the bar. Well, it's gone towards the far side for this corner, and it goes towards Welbeck. Peter's got there first. Here's Lamptey on the right-hand side. McAllister to Coelho. Stayed on side. Coelho's cross. Well charged away from McNeil. He's having a really good game now after a shaky start. Peters is putting his normal, no-nonsense type performance. And here he is on the ball. Good challenge by McNeil, or at least we thought it was. And the referee, I'm afraid, has made another bad decision. He let the play go for 3 seconds. He gets the ball there, as far as I'm concerned, and Lamptey made a meal of it and has conned the referee. That is a poor decision from Kevin Fredden. It has to be said. The referee there, and there was 1 or 2 quizzical looks from the Burnley players. It really was quizzical, to say the least. 66 minutes gone. We're coming up towards 67 minutes here. Ball back towards Robert Sanchez by Coelho. And it looks towards Solly March, who can't keep it in. But the referee here in his second half is absolutely not winning many friends amongst the Burnley fraternity, because, in my humble opinion, that challenge from McNeil was a good challenge. Was a good challenge. And for whatever reason, the referee, in his wisdom, deciding that Lamptey had been fouled, when in actual fact he made an absolute meal of it. Anyway, Burnley in possession. And they've got it out to Peters on the far side. Peters now running towards the penalty area. Gets the cross in there, looking towards McNeil, but it's clicked away. Peters will retrieve the situation and just has to settle for conceding the throw. But he's had his normal, no-nonsense game, Eric Peters. And I have to say, he's filled in for Charlie Taylor remarkably well. Now we're going to see young Evan Ferguson, who's a Republic of Ireland youngster. He's going to be placed Danny Welbeck. Now this seems odd from Graham Potter, knowing that he got the likes of Pascal Gross and Stephen Alzati still to use. This is a strange substitution in lots of ways, and that's no disrespect to Evan Ferguson. He's an untried boy at this level. I know he's played international football for the Republic of Ireland youth teams. It just seems a bit of an odd one as we go past the halfway mark of the second half. Still 2-0 to Burnley. Goals from Big Horst. And as Lennon gets the ball out of his feet, it's Lennon! It's in the corner! It's into the top left-hand corner, and it's 3-0. And he counts to the goal. He got at Old Trafford earlier on in the season. And Burnley could be walking away with all 3 points. What a trip down to the Sussex coast this has been for Burnley. And is this the time where Burnley's great escape begins? It's Brighton 0, Burnley 3 now. Big Horst onto Rodriguez. Held off his opponent there. Noticed Lennon was there. Goes through 2 Brighton defenders. right-footed shot into the left-hand corner of the net, in the top left-hand corner. And surely now, with less than just over 20 minutes to play, it's game, set and match, Burnley. And on the balance of play, it is richly deserved. In off the underside of the bar as well, I think. And Lennon, who scored a fantastic individual goal just before the new year at Old Trafford, has added to that with another super strike. 3-0 to Burnley. And Graham Potter's men can have no complaints with that. Great performance from the Pirates today. Yes, they were under cost for the first 20 minutes of the second half. But really, Nick Pope, in a lot of respects, hasn't had to get his gloves dirty too much today. Ball's ricocheted off the referee. And he's had to whistle, which is protocol these days. Will be a drop ball. 20 minutes to go. Well, Sean Dyche has been saying that farm margins have stopped him from getting more points this season. In his eyes, it might have well been the case, but he's not happy about something or other. If he was unhappy about the drop ball, and how costly is that? Is Lewis Dunk's suspension now proving to be for Brighton today? Because if he'd have been playing, I think it would have been a different story. That sending off at Old Trafford last week has certainly paved the way. As the goalkeeper now takes possession. And Robert Sanchez kicks away from the ground. 20 minutes to go. Solly March in possession. And Ferguson gets his first touch. And Rodriguez, lovely play from Jay Rodriguez. But then Brownhill, rare mistake from him, gives it straight to Mopai, who's got Trossard and now Lamptey on the ball. And the referee again blowing for another iffy decision against Eric Peters. Free kick Brighton. Well, they need 3 goals in a little over 19 minutes. It looks less likely as each second ticks by. But they may as well have a go now, Brighton. What have they got to lose now? McAllister will take the free kick. 3-0 down they are. And you have to say, I don't think there's any arguing about it. Here comes the free kick into the area. Ben Mee, very umpteen time, got the header in. March now on the left. Has to cross it in there. It's a better cross. Flicked on by Trossard. Into the danger zone and then poked it away by Vigorst, I think, of all people. And McNeil and Rodriguez on the charge, on the break. All punches back to Sanchez, who, dear me. They shin that out of play for a throw-in. Almost level with the 18-yard box. Poor kick away. Really shinned that with his left leg. Shanked it out of play. And it's a throw-in to Burnley, and a cheap one at that. But there's no question at all in my mind that the better team are winning this football match. No doubt at all. Here's Rodriguez in possession. Lennon does well. He was taken out surely there by Bissouma. And that has to be a Burnley free kick. You think so anyway. Lennon was clattered from pillar to post. And where's the yellow card for Bissouma here? This was more... Well, that is a yellow card offence. I can't believe the referee hasn't booked Bissouma for that. And he should be booked for me. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. That if the referee, I don't think it's booked him for that, and I think that is awfully, awfully ridiculous. But the Burnley fans don't care. They're enjoying themselves. All 900 of them removed. Brave, Storm, Eunice. And in the end, looks as if they're going to come away with all 3 points. McNeil shoots, and Rodriguez can't get in on the rebound. Shot to the right of the penalty area. Sanchez didn't grasp it at the first time of asking. Got in at the second time. I think it would have been rather a challenge to have got there. And here's McNeil winning possession again. Rodriguez, Burnley threatening to run right. Rodriguez shoots, hits the right defender. It breaks kindly for Solly March, who keeps it going now. Dyche just asking players to get back. He's just signalling or gesturing just to say, come on, get back into your shape. Let's keep that 2 banks of 4 and keep Brighton at arm's length. Trossard now running forward towards McAllister. Back to Trossard. 1-2 being played now. They can't afford any mistakes now, Brighton. Coelho now plays it in there towards Ferguson. He can't get it out from under his feet. Now McNeil. McNeil trying to bring the ball away. Peters beaten to it by Lamptey. Now McAllister for Brighton. Burnley leading 3-0, but Brighton now on the attack. McAllister in possession. Picks out Lamptey. Now is a chance for Koala. He'll try again to curl one, and he's curled it well into the crowd. And there's a few empty seats now starting to buzz around the Amex Stadium. It still remains with about a quarter of an hour to go. Brighton 0, Burnley 3, as we see Tony Bloom there, the Brighton chairman, looking very, very stern-faced indeed. And he knows his team have had an awful day at the office today. No doubt about it. Disenchantment and displeasure in the camp amongst teammates. Poor defending on all 3 goals. And Graham Potter's men know that they've been beaten, if it is to be that way, by a much better butter side over the piece. As the shot comes in, that would have been some goal from Rodriguez. Shot to the left-hand side of the penalty area, just outside it. That would have been route 1 and some here. Gets possession here, chests it down, hits it right-footed. Whoop, there we go, goal kick. So a quarter of an hour left here on the TC Hub in association with JB Sports, JBack Football, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2 and Twitch. The following channels I mentioned are all YouTube outlets. It's 3-0 to Burnley here on the TC Hub. Commentary Hub. Got the League Cup final a week on Sunday from Wembley Stadium. And then FA Cup football a week in just under 2 weeks' time, where the whole from Tuesday to Friday will be limited with a lot of FA Cup games, with the exception of Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield, which will take place 2 weeks on Monday. Or less than a week on Monday. It might be a week on Monday, actually, when they finally take the field in that one. But anyway, we'll have the FA Cup covered for you, whether it's recorded or live commentary on the TC Hub. Myself, Trevor, Ross, Nicholas, and Carl will be all over that one for you on the first week of March. This big horse, he's had a cracking little game today. He's performed admirably well. He's performed terrifically well. He's looked sharp. He's looked absolutely sharp in every single department. And Burnley have deserved their 3 points if they are to just keep their 3-goal lead. All that's missing now is a clean sheet. As we go into the last 13 minutes plus any injury time here, it's been a chasing experience and on their own territory, although the conditions have not helped possibly Brighton's cause. It's not the sort of conditions they're used to, really. Those Storm unit has been battering the South Coast for a long, long time, just as Trevor, who lives just further west from here in Hampshire. It's Sally March now running towards the area. March is crossed too close to the goalkeeper from the left-hand side. It was poor, if I'm being bluntly honest. And that's been the story of the game so far. He's shown glimpses of what he's against. Sally March. Time I commentate him or watch him, he's a very impressive character. I'm amazed no bigger club than Brighton has actually attempted to spend money and pick him up, because I think he could do well with a much bigger team, an Aston Villa or an Everton or that similar stature. I really do think if he goes to a much bigger team, I think his potential could show. Here's Brownhill winning the ball nicely. He's got Vigorst now to his left. He might not use him. Brownhill shoots, deflected, and McNeil sticks the ball into the right-hand corner, but the flag has gone up for an offside. It must have touched Vigorst. He was in an offside position. I think Dwight McNeil actually knew that. The linesman Simon Beck had his flag up straight away. But once again, full marks to Vigorst for dispossessing the Brighton player in the first place. Then the shot came in, and yes, Vigorst is offside. And when it strikes the back of his arm, or the back of his back even, comes to McNeil, he is active. And I think Bar will have a look at it, obviously, but I don't think the fourth goal is going to be given. And I think the referee and VAR will be right disallowing the goal. Good decision. Burnley won't mind too much about that because they're 3-0 up and coasting to what looks as if it's going to be a nice, good, comfortable 3-0 victory. And they've been excellent value for it. Lennon he was trying a shot. He might have been trying the shot, I don't know. But anyway, doesn't really matter. It's with Robert Sanchez now. Burnley 3-0 up. And all they've got to do is see out the remaining 10 minutes plus stoppage time. And the game is theirs to have been won. Ball out towards Lamptey. Lamptey knocks it on there, and that's going to not reach Evan Ferguson. And a goal kick. It is to Burnley. Well, McNeil is certainly a candidate for man of the match. Certainly Weghorst is there. But this is the replay again. Yeah, Weghorst is offside and then becomes active when the ball in the vertically hits the back of his back and into McNeil's path. I think if he doesn't deflect it, McNeil has a tap in anyway, but I think McNeil half knew it wasn't going to count as soon as he stuck the ball in the back of the net. And him and the referee, Mr. Friend, having a little bit of a giggle about it. So it all ends amicably with smiles. Here's McNeil again, far side. And it goes for the 1-2 again. Weghorst waiting in the centre. McNeil can't reach it. It's a goal kick for Brighton. But again, lovely approach play once again from Burnley. Lovely football. And the Burnley fans away to my right are absolutely loving every second of this. It's been a long time since Burnley have put in a performance of this nature. And it really does illustrate the fact that Burnley may well still get out of trouble. It also helps when the likes of Newcastle can drop points like they did at West Ham today. Because if it had been 3 points, then it would have been out of Burnley's reach. As it is, 5 points is very much biting distance. And there's other teams being sucked into the mix. Here's Trossard with a shot from outside the area. Right-footed, sails a mile over the crossbar into the stand. And a goal kick it is to Burnley as we go past the 81st. As we have hit 81 and a half minutes of this game. Not even Leandro Trossard can inspire Brighton to get anything out of this game at the moment. Been a tough old assignment for him. He's landing inside the centre circle, picking the ball up. Ball knocked out towards the far side, and Cruella again. Cruella just keeping possession here. 8 minutes to go. Burnley 3-0 up, and they are just coasting away to what's going to be an overdue victory now for them. Not one since Brentford. It's been a long time in coming here. And if truth be told, it's been the right result for so many reasons. Brighton fans leaving in their dwells. Nick Pope. Oh, Mopai, a little kick out at Pope. Pope just smiles and shrugs it off. And no malice intended, I'm sure, from Mopai's point of view, but fantastic performance from Burnley with 7 minutes left to play, plus injury time. At the other end now with the goalkeeper. Open now for Brighton. Just drops towards midway inside his own half. Now inside to Basuma, onto McAllister inside the centre circle. But a terrific performance it has been for Burnley this afternoon. From first whistle to now, it's been well played. Here's March with the cross, dinks it up well, but Peters is the first one there. And then Lennon tries to win the second ball, can't succeed. And then the ball's been given away to Weghorst. Weghorst has gone to the right, and then he's tripped by Duffy. And Weghorst is down in a heap right below me here. And about time to referee. Yellow card for Duffy, who should have been booked a lot earlier than he was. Peters having a few words. And Duffy, quite rightly, is booked. It's away from Basuma there. Duffy, who could have easily been booked earlier on in the game. Look at the reaction of Sean Dyche, and now it's all kicking off. Big Horse and Duffy, and Big Horse, I don't think he's going to accept any apologies whatsoever here. He thinks that Duffy should be at least sent off for that. It's just kicked off a little bit here. And it's Brighton who are losing their discipline. Robert and Burnley at the moment. Big Horse, I'm pleased to say, he's okay. And that's the important thing, I think, out of all that shenanigans. Free kick taken by Collins towards Big Horse. Once again, tangles with Veltman this time. And then Brownhill can keep it in on the far side. Burnley still looking for more. Onside is McNeil. Played it in towards Rodriguez. Knocked away by Veltman, the Dutchman. Here's another Dutchman, Peters. Has he kept that in, McNeil? He hasn't. It's a throw in for Brighton, I think. Yes, Brighton's roll. 5 minutes to go. So a terrific performance from Burnley. And when Graham Potter and Sean Dyche dissect it and then put it all back together again, I think what you can't deny is the fact that Burnley have been the more deserving winners out of the two teams. Brighton fans, even on crutches, leaving the ground. Disappointment for them, but they're okay. It should be safe for at least another season, at least. Unless they start dropping points like a stone. If the season gets sucked into this relegation issue. Ashley Barnes is about to come on against his old club. And now things are getting boiled over. Brownhill going through Trossard. That's going to be another yellow card for Josh Brownhill. And just marring his performance there. Probably a silly yellow card in hindsight to pick up. Let's see it again. Brownhill looking, yeah. Trossard going in there. Maybe Trossard made a little bit of a meal of it, but the referee was adamant it was a bookable offence. And tension spelling over. Peters and Lamptey getting involved. Needless. And it's Brighton who are doing all the... And once again, I think the referee is not helping matters here. He's got to stamp this out. Both players will end up in the book if they don't stop arguing. Meanwhile, Big Horse is going off to a terrific reception from the Burnley fans. And he, in fact, will be my choice for man of the match, of course. Superb goal, has led the line superbly well. Has given Duffy and Veltman a horrid time. And on that basis, just ahead of Dwight McNeil, by the way, Big Horse picked up the Player of the Match award sponsored by Commentary Services. His place, incidentally, for the last 3 minutes has been taken by former Brighton player Ashley Barnes. So, last few minutes now. So, Big Horse is the Player of the Match. Free kick for Brighton. Didn't come to anything, and McNeil hooks it out for a throw-in for Brighton. The game's up for them now. But I have to say, going back to man of the match, it was an open and shut case, really. There was Dwight McNeil that was also in the frame. Eric Peters had a good game too. Big Horse has had a super match and thoroughly deserving of his Player of the Match award, sponsored by Commentary Services. Big Horse, the Player of the Match. Here's Solly Marsh for Brighton. Corella back inside once again. Duffy, who's lucky not to be a red carded, in my opinion. Not that it will matter under the circumstances. But Brighton's discipline has been disgraceful. But there's the Player of the Match, in our Player of the Match. I'm fully meriting of the award. Not just for his goal, which was an excellent goal, which opened the scoring, but his all-round play as well. He's held up the ball well, has brought people into it. And Burnley have looked a really brighter outfit today. And he's been the main hub. And he's brought into the style of play that Sean Dyche wants him to play. Lamptey now for Brighton. Entering the area from the right-hand side. Cross in. Ben Mee heads it away. Brighton are still going to give it a go with Shane Duffy on midway inside his own half. It's going to be a nice performance, this from Burnley, because Brighton still look for a consolation. Ball played in there, and Roberts knocked it out. 1 minute of normal time remains here. And it's Brighton's corner. Solly March to take. Dean Whitestone will be out with the fourth official board in a minute. There's a Burnley player went tumbling, but off the ball. Lamptey now with a crossing from the right. Caught with the winning the first ball. Trossard trying to get in there, and McNeil, once again, he's been impressive today. Certainly on the breakaway, Burnley have looked very dangerous when McNeil's got the ball. And yes, at times he's tried to hold it up so he can bring other people into it, but even so, he's played intelligently. He's looked very good. Barnes lost his possession now to Shane Duffy, his former teammate. So far, so good for Burnley. We've played the 90 minutes. Here's McAllister. We're going to have 4 added at the end. March cuts inside. He tries to tease Roberts one way or the other. So Brighton's best outlets is coming on now. Corella was cross. Can't find Mopai. Ball whizzes out of play. Mopai furious with the cross from Corella. That just sums up their afternoon, really. Still remains 3-0 to Burnley on the TC delayed full match audio commentary, alternate audio commentary on the TC Hub. JB Sports, TC Hub 2, JDAC Football and Storm FM, all our YouTube platforms. And of course, we're on Twitch as well. Of course, we're on the association with the Melon Streaming app. If you want to know more about that, check out their website, www.melonstreamingapp.com. Nick Pope with the kick net, right-footed. We played a minute of the 4 at the end of the game. It's a sparsely populated now Amex Stadium. It's the Brighton fans leaving their thousands. We're going to see Matt Lowton come on for a couple of minutes at the end of the game. I don't know who's going to replace, but we'll find out in just a second or two. Fourth official Dean Whitestone's got the subs board out there. Connor Roberts battling well. Roberts doing really well, and it's going to be a change now made, and it's going to be Aaron Leonard to come off. And he has actually had a super game. The former Leeds youngster he's announced himself with a second goal since his return from Turkey. Scored a cracking one at Old Trafford last couple of months ago, even in defeat. But this one will mean an awful lot more. Super finish. It also means 3 points for Burnley. And the great escape now will surely begin in earnest. It's been a terrific performance from start to finish. Brighton have tried, hooked and puffed second half, but they just haven't been able to blow down the Burnley brick wall. Burnley bricked house down here. Here's Basuma now. Just less than a couple of minutes of stoppage time to go. And that will be that. Great performance. It really has been, as I said, from start to very much to finish. Peters battling with the ball and out of play. Press box here at the Camex. We're in the Burnley part of it. We've got Vizzo, one of the Burnley YouTubers, commentating for the club channel today. Him, Phil Bird and Andy Hodgson, their commentary team, and they've absolutely had a ball right in front of me here. So 2 of the 900 Burnley fans who have braved Storm Eunice to come down and watch this game. And what a reward it has been. If you can brave storms and see your team win, you can brave anything. Here's Solly March now on the left-hand side for Brighton. 3-0 down. Time rapidly run out. They'll try and go for a consolation here for Trossard. Trossard chips it in, but it's into no man's land. Nick Pope picks the ball up, and with 40 seconds remaining, will waste as much time as he dares under the laws of the game. And surely that must be that. 30 seconds remain. And I can't think of it being any more than that. To be quite honest with you, Sean Dyche is... well, I don't know what he's complaining about there. I think the referee wants a word, maybe with Pope. Maybe it's taking too long. He's having a word with Neil Mopai, it looks to me. Ben Mee. So 4 seconds remaining. Pope still to take the kick. And we played the 4 minutes. And I can't think It's going to be too much else now. Once that kick is taken really from Nick Pope, I think that must be that. I just don't think there's going to be much else really. But it's a free kick given to Burnley, and Pope is taking as much time as he dare. Pope kicks away down the field, and there's not going to be much time for anything else. The referee pulls for the end, and Burnley have done it. Well, it's taken them at least a couple of months, maybe 3 months to get a big result, but they've got a big result. They move within biting distance of Newcastle United at that bottom of the league. They've not only got 3 points, but they're off the bottom of the table. But 5 points in it now, with 2 games in hand. It's very much all to play for. The great escape is on. Big Horst, Brownhill scoring the first 2 goals in the second half. Lennon, with 20 minutes from the end, making it absolute. What a result for Burnley here on the South Coast. Terrific result and well-deserved as well. It's finished here on the TC Hub. Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Brighton 3. I hope you've enjoyed our delayed commentary here from the Amex. And from me, JB, John Stuttard, thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you very, very soon on the TC Hub. From all of us here at the Amex, it's a goodbye.